Yes, top of the sauce, top of the sauce. You know the vibes, man. You're rocking out with yours truly, the sauce. This is a special Saturday sauce. I told you we are switching up the flow a little bit. You heard? We're switching it up, man. It's only right. It's only right. This is a Source Talk Podcast 226, man. You know the vibe, man. Like I told you, we are on a whole nother level with it now, man. I might come back on later on. I might, I just might, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not, you know? Maybe, maybe not. You know, maybe, maybe not with the boxing. But I got something today that we're gonna discuss. We're gonna discuss the notorious, oh so glorious BIG's estate, man. It has, oh man, it was at 10 million. Man, you see what the title of this is. You know, dead rappers get better promotion, man. Man, his son, shout out to CJ, his daughter, his moms, they are reaping the benefits of that, man. But we're gonna get to that in a second. You know, I got the shades on, man, because it's light, it's bright. The bright lights in the big city. Yes, yes, yes. We need more people to join this group. You see I got the group up there, right? You see how I'm doing, right? This is a network and media group, right? I be asking people to join. It doesn't cost $1, right? As much as people be on social media, it doesn't cost $1. You know how you kill. Let me take a sip of my juice. You know how you kill people off, right? I I sent this out and told somebody to join. Always on Facebook all day long, right? I said, it doesn't cost you $1. All you got to do is click. You know, they said, I'm not going to listen. I hit them back. There's nothing to listen about. It's something to share information. You know what I did after I said that to them? I shared their information just to show them, like, come on, man, we on a whole nother level. That's why we are blessed. That's why we are marching forward. Jihad Tucker, October 30th. You know the vibes, man. MSG. Dreams turn into reality. But let me do something real quick on Twitter because that's what this podcast is on now. It's on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, you know? Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. That's what we are branching off into. So now before I officially go in, right, I want to add a couple of people on the Twitter feed. I want to add a couple of people on the Twitter feed. I want to add Bad. Bad Boy Entertainment. At the NBA because I'm going to talk about some NBA business too. I want to hashtag Source Talk. I want to hashtag podcast Source. Yeah, let's go, right? Let's get this going now. I was thinking about adding the stream in a second. Maybe I will. All right. Let's get to the first topic at hand. The Notorious BIG. Who inherited? Who inherited? Who inherited the Notorious BIG's money after his death? This article you can find this article, right? In Grudge, Grunge, right? The Notorious B.I.G., aka Biggie Smalls, had a short but legendary life. According to the biography, Smalls helped to bring back the East Coast hip hop, which had fallen out of fashion in favor of the West Coast hip hop in the 90s. His first album, Ready to Die, transformed him into a superstar. It really did. Eventually won quadruple platinum. Ready to Die won quadruple platinum. I'm just reading the article to y'all, and I'm going to add in a little bit of some of my fond memories. Let me take my glasses off and clean these off. You know, just to show y'all. Clean these off a little something. But yes, quadruple platinum at that time. Man, that's major. We're talking the 90s. Early 90s here, right? Quadruple platinum. All of a sudden, unexpectedly, as Smalls never had plans for a rap career, his demo wound up in the hands of Sean Puffy P. Diddy Combs. And the rest is history. Then he, moving and grooving on, right? But check this out. This is something that some may know, some may not know. But with fame and fortune also came fear. Smalls was to suffer from anxiety. After the success of his first album, he also part of the infamous feud with the former friend and rapper Tupac Shakur. Y'all remember the whole East Coast, West Coast thing that the media played a big major part in too. When Shakur was shot during a robbery, he believed Smalls had orchestrated the incident. In 1996, Shakur was shot dead, and again, the finger was pointed at Smalls and his entourage. Yes, remember, that's what they love to do. They love to pin us against one another. It's the classic thing. This is a little off the topic, but if you watch the Judas the Messiah, they did that with the Black Panthers and Larry Hoover. The feds printed up all of that, the bullshit, and tried to put it off on the Black Panthers was doing that. Divide and conquer. But see, we have to rise up over that. All right, let me continue on so I can get to the meat. What I want to show y'all. It's going to tie into, I say, dead rappers get better promotion. Although there is no evidence that Smalls and his entourage played a part in the death of Tupac Shakur, another great iconic hip-hop legend. But subsequently, in March 9th of 1997, while out in L.A., the 24-year-old Christopher Wallace, a.k.a. Notorious B.I.G., was subsequently shot in a drive-by and died from the shooting injuries. Now, I say that to say this. After his death, his other album, Life After Death, a classic album, and we only got to get 2 classics from him, man. But the Notorious B.I.G.'s estate is run by his mother, right? Let's get to it, man. When he died, Smalls left behind his wife, Faith Evans, two small children, Tiana and CJ, Christopher Jr. In addition, he was the only child to his beautiful mother, a Jamaican immigrant, Miss Valletta Wallace. Smalls was worth $10 million at the time of his death. At the time of his death, he was worth $10 million. $10 million. In 1997, his estate was worth $10 million, right? That's how I tie it in. Peep my source this morning. You know dead rappers get better promotion. Fast forward, his estate now, managed by his mother, his widow, his former manager and attorney, and merchandise manager. Due to the licensing deals, album releases, films, and more, Smalls' estate is now worth around a whopping $160 million. At the time of his death, he was worth $10 million. Did you hear what I just said? His estate now is worth $160 million. You know, dead rappers get better promotion. $160 million. At the time of his death, when he was living, he had a quadruple album. One album that got released before he died. He was worth $10 million. He hasn't put out no music since 1997 other than, pre-recorded stuff. But now his net worth, double would be what? 20 million. Triple would be what? 30. So what is 160? 160 million now, man. You see the source, what I just said today? You know dead rappers get better promotion, man. Dead rappers get better promotion. Man. 160 million now, man. I just seen that and I felt like I needed to get on the podcast with this morning. Like I told you, man, the podcast is going in a whole another direction now. Like I'm still gonna do my boxing thing as far as marketing and media, but we're gonna talk about other stuff now because it's like not knocking boxing. Boxing is cool, but like I was sharing my thoughts with a colleague of mine. Boxing right now is goofy because you have the people that cover it are very, very goofy, biased, and they just not, like my guy said, knowledgeable on the sport. You're rocking out with y'all truly the source, Showtime Sizzle. Let's take a couple commercial breaks.
Special stars talk, about to interview a young hitter in the game, young Jacob Spence, man. Let me introduce herself to y'all. Young amateur fighter, about the source talk. Here he is, man. First off, man, congratulations, man, on the victory, man. You're hot right now. That's why I said I gotta get this interview in, man, because you're hot, man. I went down to the rec today.
Yes, that was brought to you by no other than yours truly. You see, we do our own commercials. We produce our own shows, so why not highlight us? on what we are moving, grooving, and doing. But yes, Notorious BIG, rest in peace, rest in power. You know, dead rappers get better promotion, man. 160 million, man. You know, his family, his subsequently his kids, his moms, his grandchildren that he will not get a chance to meet physically, but in a spiritual, they will profit and they have gained generational wealth. 160 million, man. 160 million. But let's move on to another topic. This is a topic that I want to touch on. Yes, definitely support this event. If you are in the Carolina area, you know, definitely support that. You see what this group entails and it is about. You see, that's another way how you show your growth and your progress. Shout out to my man. He posted something. When I get to this, man, this was an ugly scene last night at Club Amazora in Queens. They had a professional fight card bout going on. And as you can see, the spectators, I don't even want to call them fans, the spectators, because fans aren't supposed to move like this, man. Enjoy the festivities, enjoy the fights. These guys are in there throwing chairs. Bad luck, man, for New York, for Queens, for the New York State Athletic Commission, overall for boxing, period. Shout out to Terrence Bud Crawford. I did this thing. I touched on that a little bit earlier when I talked on the costumes, the Halloween costumes and everything. But man, they're starting early with the gloves, man. Sad, man. Like, let it go already, man. Let these guys just fight. Kill the noise with the excuses already. It's sad, man. I'm not gonna really give that too much play. Like I said, man. Like I've been telling y'all, boxing now is just so goofy. Like, I'm just gonna let the people that really are in the forefront of that whole media movement just continue to keep it goofy, because eventually they will have to come back to the substance. That makes any sense. Yes, man. Salute to Bud, man. I told y'all that, man. That was earlier. Dope picture of him and Sean promoting a November 20th clash. Here we go. Let's get to this one first. Former basketball star arrested and charged with fraud. Fraud is big right nowadays, man. We're gonna touch on this, man. The whole fraud movement is major stuff. And before I get into this article, I want to say this, right? Too many people, right, get caught up on reality TV stars, reality TV personalities, reality TV people, and that's what they chase after. Now, here is somebody that was all on TV, living the glamorous life, the high-end life, the glamorous Yeah, I'm just texting somebody. Sorry about that. I'll tell you, busy, man. Very busy over here. But yeah, getting back to what I said. A lot of people. When I say people, I mean my people, our people that look like this, like me. This skin tone, right? We get so caught up on the reality TV stars, right? Reality TV is the new soap opera, aka fake TV, man. Because here, I'm gonna get into this article. Here you had somebody that was on VH1 every week, subsequently being marketed and promoted on a basketball wife pilot as living the glamour life, the high life. All to come out, she has been charged with fraud. Fraud, man. Let's get into a little bit of the article, man. You're rocking out with yours truly, the Soul Showtime Scissors. If you would like to check out this article that I intend to break down to y'all, feel free. This article is in popular culture. Basketball wife star, man, arrested. According to the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, Williams is in a heap of trouble. This is British Williams, basketball, VH1 basketball housewife star, has been indicted by a federal grand jury in St. Louis on charges of fraud, which prosecutors hitting her with fixed felony charges of misusing of social security numbers, 4 charges of bank fraud, 3 charges of making false statements to the IRS, 3 charges of wire fraud, 3 charges of aggregated identity theft. Williams was arrested October 7th and pled not guilty the same day. Prosecutors are alleging that Williams used false social security numbers starting in 2017 to obtain loans, lines of credit, other frauds from various financial institutions. Within the next 2 years, prosecutors claim Williams deposited 4 checks between the amounts of $4,500, $5,800 into her own account. She withdrew the money before the checks bounced or banks could report them as fraudulent. But Williams' lawyer says that this is a huge mix-up and that Williams specifically has been targeted because of her celebrity, and I expect that to be cleared once the evidence is produced. Now, let's get to this, man. You heard what I just read off, right? You heard what I just read off. They are accusing her of writing bad checks, having fraudulent identities with social security numbers. This is all alleged because, we always got to say that alleged innocent to proven guilty. But this goes to show you that everything that you watch on TV, man, on these reality TV shows, everything that glitters ain't gold, man. Everything that glitters isn't gold, man. This was a reality TV star, right? A reality TV star that is a reality TV star that is paraded around in front of us and paraded around in front of us, right? And a lifestyle that, according to the St. Louis Patch Post and a federal prosecutor is a lifestyle that she is fraudulently living, allegedly. Now, I say that to say this, man. See, that's why us as a culture, us as a culture, we really need to like live our lives, man. Stop getting caught up on reality TV. Stop chasing images and tell lie, vision, characters. Because here is a former NBA basketball wife that allegedly was nothing more than a scammer, according to federal prosecutors, allegedly. But hey, what do I know? You're rocking out with yours truly, the source, man. Like I said, we are going in a total new direction. We are having fun with it. We are just not talking boxing no more. We are talking current event and topics. You know the vibes. Yes, man. Shout out to the OG champ 5, man. He gave me a nice compliment this morning in regards to my show, man. I told him, man, Rome wasn't built in a day, man. Everything that I've been doing, like I said, man, I got 10 years into the game. And one thing about me is this is an independent, got it out the mud type of grind. Had to take some stuff off of my jacket type of grind. Had to drop off some dead weight type of grind. Had to start all over type of grind. And all you are seeing is all of the dead weight, all of the smear, all of the muck. And I finally cleaned up. Hopefully y'all caught that sauce. But yes, man, getting back to this topic before I touch my third and final topic, I want to tie this sauce in again, man. See, we got to stop being fooled by social media, by reality TV, by things that are posted and present in front of us for what? Now you can actually have longer videos on IG and Facebook, but you can't base a 24-hour, 365 lifestyle off of a small clip you see. Like Lord of the Rings likes to allude to. When the cameras are on, you could be anybody you want to be, but when the cameras is off, that's who you really are. Are y'all catching this sauce, man? Are y'all catching the sauce, man? Hopefully you are, man. Hopefully you are, man. In a second, I will open up the floor after I touch on this last topic at hand. I want to touch one more topic. And then I will open up the floor, man. I will open up the floor. I gotta add I gotta get the Twitter app on my phone because now, like I told you, man, we be jamming on Twitter, man. Jamming them out on Twitter. You hear my phone constantly blowing up, man. That's what I do, man. Like I said, I'm a busy man. I'm humble though. I'm humble. Let me see something. I got one more topic to touch. One more topic. Then I will open the floor up. But you see, when I open the floor up, I don't want to just open the floor up to, because I know people are so used to me always talking boxing. So I don't want to just open the floor up to no boxing. You understand what I'm saying? Because like I said, man, this is my brand now. Like I said, shout out to Champ, man. Champ was on point with it. He knows and sees the vision. My brand is like, it been grew, man. It been bigger than boxing. But now it's time for the source to expand. And that's what all we are doing. That's all we are doing. We are expanding. We are expanding. Yes, let's get to the third and final topic. We're gonna stick with the NBA. We are going to stick with the NBA, man. Man, this one right here like hurt me, man. Because if you know anything about me growing up, man, hoop dreams, man. I love the NBA. I love the NBA. You see what they are pushing, the narratives they are pushing. That's why I said, man, boxing is just so goofy now, man. This was sad. I probably do a little short piece on this. This is sad, man. Gunned down, man. Beautiful woman too, man. Beautiful woman, pregnant registered nurse, man. She was a RN, not a CNA. A RN, man, registered nurse, man. Damn. Killed in a drive-by shooting, and she was pregnant. Her baby died also, man. I'll probably touch on that maybe later, man. Like I said, man, I got a lot of free time on the weekends. This is a 3-day weekend. There's nothing but fights on today. It's time for me to keep rocking on the thought. This was an excellent show last night that I did. I told you, man, we're not just talking boxing no more. Guilty verdict reached in the trial. You see the difference in my page between these other pages now, man. Is it coming together? Is it coming together? Is it coming together, man? You know, like I told you, man, I'm on a whole nother level. I've been on a whole nother level, and in a second, y'all gonna be like, damn, Shot done took off. Shot done took off. Now I've been took off. It's just that y'all didn't see the vision. Y'all didn't want to support the vision. But God has always been supporting it. That's why you can't understand how somebody is doing the things that I'm doing, because y'all are the ones that sit back like, yo, we don't even support nothing. We don't support him. How is he continue to grow like this? How is he coming in the company of these big time CEOs and people like that? Because my grind and my shine is different. I am anointed. Man, I'm going to definitely come back with some of this right here, man. I got to pay attention. They are trying to start another war, man. And I'll get into that too. Like I said, the sources, this is a real media group here, man. This isn't no biased boxing. And more like we cover boxing, we cover everything, but this is a real media group. This is a real media group. Right? This is a real media group. You see how people be hitting me up, and I'll be having to, answer emails, texts, and all that, man. Very busy man. God is good. But this is what I prayed for. This is what I prayed for. But yeah, let's get to this, man. The final topic, man. This topic, it like, man, it hurt me, man. You see all the stuff that we post on here? It's just not boxing, man. It's not boxing. And pay attention. Look, I guarantee you people will try to run with my format and my source. But just like Champ 5 said, they know where it's really coming from now. They know where it's really coming from. You know? Independent grind. Independent, man. That is a beautiful thing, man. When you can do something on your own, when you can stay focused and stay the path and build something from nothing, from scratch. Here it is right here, man. We're going to get to this, man. 18 former NBA players, man. Damn. When I read off some of these names of these players, you guys are gonna be like in a frenzy, in an actual frenzy over. And this is, if you want to definitely check this article out. This article was published by ABC News, man. So it's not no, low affiliated outlet. It's one of the majors. But 18 former NBA players charged with defrauding the NBA Health and Welfare Benefit Plan, man. Damn. The big name players, Sebastian Telfair, Glenn Big Baby Davis, Darius Miller among the 18 players, man. But look at this, man. Allegedly, we always got to say allegedly because they are innocent to proven guilty. But fraud, man, from professional athletes who subsequently were millionaires, are millionaires, were making top buku dollars, scamming and frauding. Scamming and frauding, man. But 18 former NBA players, including Sebastian Telfair, Glenn Big Baby Davis, Darius Miller, have been charged with defrauding the NBA's health and welfare benefit plan out of approximately $4 million, federal prosecutors said Thursday. The players were charged with conspiracy to commit health care fraud and wire fraud as part of what prosecutors called a widespread scheme. See, they're scammers, man. Scheme to defraud the NBA's health care benefit plan. Man, they alleged submitted false and fraudulent claims totaling nearly $4 million, from which the ex-players took in about $2.5 million. That's a lot of money from an insurance scam. The records submitted by the ex-players described medical and dental services that were not in fact provided, the indictment said. The fraudulent invoices were created by a chiropractor's office in California, 2 dentist's offices in Beverly Hills, and a wellness office in Washington State. The indictment named none of the offices allegedly involved that were not charged. Now check this out. Look at these players, man. These are some notable players, man. Other ex-players charged included Terrence Williams, Allen Anderson, Anthony Allen, Shannon Brown. That's, Monica's what's the name? William Bynum, Will the Thrill, man. Excellent player out of Chicago, played with Detroit. Christopher Douglas Roberts, he was on the Nets. Melvin Eli, Jerron Moon, great player, great athletic dunker. Ruben Patterson, Eddie Robinson, George Smith, Charles Watson Jr., Anton Wright, and Anthony Wootrin. Look at this, man. This is like, I want to say this, man. You see how I broke it down to you how fraud is widespread throughout the NBA, man. You are rocking out with the sauce, man. You see how, yes, I'll send the link in a second. Give me a second. Let me tie everything up. Because like I said, I got to rock my show now. You feel me? I do what I do now. I'm showing my range. I'm showing why I am the best. Why God has blessed me. It's no longer, it's bigger than boxing now. Because like I said, I conquered the boxing game. And now we are on a whole new mainstream game showing the range, man. A lot of people can't do this because they are not anointed to do this. But getting back to what I was just saying, right? Fraud. I just broke down a piece on an NBA housewife allegedly scamming, frauding. Now, here are former players, man. Shout out to Sebastian Telfair, man. I grew up Coney Island, man. CI, the big CI, man. He comes from a prestigious NBA family, man. Cousin of Stephon Marbury, brother to Jamel Thomas. He had his trials and tribulations, gun charges, allegedly being robbed, and subsequently got bounced out the league. I think he might even be serving a little time now. But frauding, scamming is widespread throughout life, period. Watch how I tie this source into for y'all, man. See, a lot of the people you idolize and look up to This is what they are, man. In reality, they are frauds. They are scammers. And see, you get so caught up on social media images, reality TV images, so-called professional athlete stars. And when all is said and done, it's a lot of smoke and mirror. These people are no better than me or you. At the end of the day, they are allegedly frauds and scammers. And these are the people that we place up here, we place on the pedestal. And at the end of the day, they are not honorable, righteous. They have no honor. They are thieves, common thieves, scammers. Now I say that to say this, man. I told you the source is going on a whole nother wavelength now. I opened the door, I opened the gate for people to try to do boxing media. Boxing media been dead, man. Been dead. I was explaining that to a brother last night, and then shout out to my old head, my OG. Me and him was building on this morning. Real boxing minds, real boxing media, they don't want you in the game because your IQ, your eyes, your ears are open. You really make sense. They want everything to be, look how I'm tying the source together. Fraudulent, gimmicks, scams. Frauds, gimmicks, scams. Are you paying attention to this source tonight, man? This morning. This is Saturday, man. We have fights on agenda. Let me send the link to my brother. Let's get Keemon in here. Because I pretty much tied up what I needed to tie up. You know, this is the Source Talk. Please do not refer to me as Jack nothing. Jackal Fitness, I blew that up. That's dead. This is the Source. Refer to me as Shalom Jones, a.k.a. Shaw News, or the Source, man. Showtime Shaw News Media, man. We are moving and grooving. You know, we are setting the trend. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, man, dudes used to laugh and joke and ha ha he he. Now the joke is on y'all now because the Showtime Shot News consulting firm is really legit. You see you see my handle all across the boxing game. Those of y'all that are look, eyes are open and ears are open, know who is the source now. Throw those back on for y'all, man. Throw those back on for y'all. But yes, this was a special, 226 source, and you see what it was based upon. Dead rappers get better promotion. Hopefully, Keemon's equipment is lined up to the T. If it's not, I'm not gonna keep him on. Okay, Keemon, you are. So you're part of the podcast, the broadcast. Just make sure your headset, everything is cool.
You all right?
What's going on? Yeah, shout out to Texas, Fort Worth, Texas in the building. What's going on with you this morning, brother?
Yeah, I got my headsets on.
Yeah, you sounding real good, man. You sounding real good. Crystal clear today.
It's kind of staticky. You're kind of staticky, but I hear you.
Yeah, no, you coming through clear, crystal clear, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to say having a blessed morning. God bless, everybody waking up this morning, Saturday morning. We had a Jack.
Yeah, I hear you. You're coming and broken up. Like that's what I said. You don't have to, don't touch this talk. Like you don't need to touch your wires. If you're touching your wires, that's why you're broken in.
Game.
Yeah, his reception always does that. I don't know. He's broken up once again. Keep on, you still there with us? His reception is a little off.
You see that? You see what I posted?
Maybe he'll come back when I'm moving. Try to bring him back in. Add him in. Let's see. Add him back on. Keep on. Nothing again. Nothing again. So that's not the vibe, but it is what it is. That's what we lost him again. But yeah, let's get back to what I was saying. Shout out to Papa James. If you guys are on YouTube, go check out the BMF series. You know, we all about sharing his camera. Go check out his BMF series that he did. There we go. Like, keep on back. How are you doing? Keep on. Can you hear us? Nice. It's audio, man. It's audio. No good. No good at all. That's no good. That's no good. That's how my man used to say. Shout out to my Dominican brother. We used to be on the courts. He used to be like, that's no gold. So you know why his services are, he has his mic muted. I don't even think he realizes that. Keep on, your mic was muted. Let's try to get him to take care of what he needs to take care of. We will open the floor for him. But let me get the link out there. Like I said, man, no knock on nobody. You see, my shit, I'm on a whole nother type of professional level with this now, man. Like, if you come on, it's all us talking, man. The floor will always be open, man. Like I said, man, I can't just talk boxing no more. Because boxing to me, I've been doing it for 10 years. I've been around world champion fighters since I was a kid, like my daughter's age. Man, they're fighters. But it's time for me to really tap in with my nation. Like, this whole media thing just doesn't have to be based upon boxing no more. Because boxing is goofy. I'm gonna break this down to you, right? I be trying to educate brothers, man. But you know, brothers be on that. They be on a goofy pill, man. If you're not tapped in, you're not gonna pay attention to what goes on. Like a lot of stuff that is pushed, the narratives that are pushed. You actually do what I do, like I'm doing right now. Do your research, read, watch, listen. They don't add up. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Like it just doesn't make sense. Like, I'm gonna use just right here for example, right? Yesterday, I don't need to say names no more, but they tried to portray something, right? Now I've been around this. I've really been interested in this. I've seen fans mob athletes. I've seen fans mob entertainers. If I'm going to say like the fans are going crazy, right? As a media member, as a reporter, as a journalist, and I'm on the front line, and I tell you, the fans go crazy, right? I will pan it out and show you the fans. And matter of fact, you can look at my catalog. Shout out to the Unified welterweight champion. He did a meet and greet at the Barclays. Subsequently, that I recorded. You know, when I was on the front line, I recorded that, and I showed as a cheese line. Shout out to everybody that was in the drug game back in the day. When I you know what I'm talking about, the cheese line, right? I referenced the cheese line because he had at the Barclays for his meet and greet. He had them going around the corner. It was crazy, and I showed that. And check this out right here, right? I did that first. They tried to steal my source. They tried to go to the auto expo. See, God don't like ugly. I did that at first. Underground Media, Showtime, Shaw News. That's time when I was Jackal Fitness. I did that first, and they tried to run with my source, my flavor. Go to the Auto Expo, not the Auto Expo, the Fan Expo in Vegas, and have a fuzzy I go to the surface first. Understand what I'm saying? It's in my catalog. Facts over fiction. You know about what you're truly the source. I am the underground king at this. Yes, that was one of the originals. Like, if you're gonna say the fans, I'm mobbing the fans of this. Actually, show the proof. Don't lie. You know. Yeah, I had to jump back in. They tried to subsequently just kick me out the what's the name? You know why? Because I'm killing the game right now. It's not gonna work. That's not working no more. It's not working no more. You can't jam up my frequency no more. That's not working no more. This is the source. That is not working. Trying to jam up the frequency. You see how I just bounced right back and came right back in. But yes, getting back to what I was saying. Yeah, you see how when I drop facts over fiction about something that I did, that's why I say I've been doing this for over 10 years, man. 10 years, man. A lot of my stuff, they thought they stole, but they didn't, because you can never steal from a creator, a originator. You know? And look where it's at now. Now he's telling me he had his headphones on. Your headphones don't work, bro. Your headphones aren't good though when you try to broadcast. It's not a good connection. That's why you might have to unplug your headphones and just rock out like this through your phone. But yes, getting back to what I was saying, man. God is good, man. Many doors that people thought they were closing are now open. That's why you have to expand my podcast. I just can't no longer discuss goofy business. Because that's what boxing is now. It's goofy business, goofy media, goofy promoters, goofy fighters. It just is what it is, man. We got to branch off, man. Like I said, man, I'm going to discuss this too. I'm probably going to come back on because, like I said, I got time to. All I'm going to be doing is watching fights. I had to drop off one of my vehicles. So we are down one vehicle. And I am a family man. So, you know, my wife and my girls have to use the vehicle. So I would pretty much be home today, a homebody. But I want to, man, this right here, man, I'll probably come back on, put something together, and discuss this, man. Like I said, man, I'll do the fights a little later, but I want to discuss this, man. Damn, this just hit home, man. Motherfuckers is killing women now, man. Pregnant women, man. Like, damn, it was a time, right? Certain shit, man. And this isn't the first woman that I've seen be murdered, man. This is not the first woman I've seen murdered. My man did a piece on this. I might have to do a little research into this. They're saying this brother's a snitch now, man. Does anybody have any paperwork on that? please feel free to send that through the source. The source news desk. You see the news desk in the back. That's the source news desk, man. That is the source news desk. Just like this came across the source news desk. And you see I jumped right on that yesterday, man. Great reviews on that piece that I did. Great reviews. But right here, I'm definitely going to do something on this. A pregnant, man. Registered nurse, man. That is sad, man. She wasn't a CNA. You know what a CNA is, man. Shout out to all the CNAs, man. She was an actual RN, a registered nurse. It took her life and her baby, man. She was pregnant, man. They gunned her down like a gangster. She got murdered in the drive-by. I'm gonna do a little piece on that later, man. That story just like, oh man. You know what? I'll speak on a little bit now, man. It just touched my soul right now. Like I said, man, I'm anointed. The spirit just came over me now to speak on this, man. It just came over me now to speak on this, man. Because this is like terrible, man. Like this happened in Georgia, the suburbs of Atlanta, Georgia, man. They gunned this woman down. Look, pregnant registered nurse shot and killed in drive-by shooting on a Georgia highway. The suspect was arrested, man. What was the motive for that, though, man? What was the motive? Look at this. Tragedy struck a pregnant woman, was shot and killed on a Georgia highway earlier this week. Her unborn child, man, also died. 2 lives, man. Pretty much 3, because the suspect was arrested. In that incident, the victim was Akila Ware, 29, from LaGrange. Ware was taken to the hospital where she and her unborn baby passed away, man. Damn, man, that's tragedy. This happened on October 5th at 12:49 p.m., man. Police officers with the troop County Sheriff's Office and other first responders were called and dispatched to Highway 18 near East Drummond Road. The police officers were responding to a report of a single victim accident with possible injuries. The police officers found a car riddled with bullet holes and found the victim inside unresponsive when they arrived. Damn, riddled. This is a picture. Man, they said riddled, man. That means he Swiss cheesed the car up, man. Riddled, not one shot, riddled. That means multiple shots in the car. Ware was then taken to the hospital in critical condition where she and her unborn baby died. Investigation from the sheriff's office and troops with the Georgia State Police stated that it appeared a second vehicle, a silver Nissan with possible front-end damage, may have been involved. The shooting probably took place near the intersection of the Highway 18 and Whitesville Road, man. I want to get to the arrest being made. Right? Her unborn baby died, though, man. Damn. Innocent live, man. Innocent live, man. But what was the motive, man? Like, motherfuckers is killing unarmed pregnant women. They shot, they Swiss cheese her V up, man. Look, it said it does not appear to be talking by ambulance to a Columbus area hospital in very bad condition. And unfortunately, she and her unborn baby were pronounced dead. Like, yeah, man. That's why I felt the need to touch on this. It's like, what is really going on in society? What is going on in life that has people, subsequently moving in this manner? Like, man, this was a 29-year-old registered nurse, pregnant. You heard the report that I just read, man. Yo, her car was riddled. If you know anything about that, man, riddled. That means they shot a car up. They blew it up. Brrr, lit it up. They lit it up. A woman. Like, come on, man. It was a time. That's why see the Lord just put this on my heart to speak on this, man. It was a time, right? Even in the streets, women and children were off limits. Like you could have a beef with somebody, a real beef. Like, yo, I'm gonna kill that nigga. Part of my language. But if you caught him with his family, with his girl, his kids, and you had to drop on him, you would give him a pass. Because there's codes, there's rules. Women and children were always off limit. Old people, you know, they was always off limits. But now look at this right here. What I just read: a pregnant woman, man. Yo, they hit her car up like it was the Middle East or something, man. Riddled with bullet holes, man. Pregnant woman, 29 years old, unborn baby died, man. Died. We got to do better, man. We got to do better, man. We got to do better. And that's why I said, man, you see where I'm taking the source to now, man. I just can't keep talking about goofiness, man. And that's what I feel boxing is. Because you have goofy, fuzzy Dunlap professional prize fighters that want to be actual gangsters. No. You guys are professional prize fighters. I don't need to run off the names of the ones that want to be gangsters. No, you are a professional prize fighter, and you are setting the wrong tone. You are giving off the wrong energy. You are giving off the wrong images to the youth. And you see, I got on bumpers for a minute with that. But you know what? I'm done doing that. You know why? Because the world sees it now. I planted that seed. And that seed is blossoming and growing. So there's no need for me to keep elaborating on that seed anymore. But now it's time for me to really start doing more current events. And this is a current event that really needs to be touched and talked about. You had a 29-year-old registered nurse with a life growing inside of her that was taking as well as her life taking because they wanted to Swiss cheese her car up. Now I say to say this, what was the motive behind that? And did you just hear what I said a little while earlier ago? Women and children and street beefs was off limit, man. But now we are living in such a reckless world. Barbaric. That's somewhat barbaric. That's what barbaric savages do. You have no honor, no code. Like, I gotta say this and share this, man. This is the source talk, man. I am the hottest in the game. I can only give it to you like this, man. And look, I'm gonna take my what's names off. Cause see, a lot of people jump on here, they be on all type of substances and out of their mind. Look, nah, I just got my glasses on. Like, I've been substance clean for almost like a month now. Only substance going into my body is pureness. See this right here? No alcohol, none of that, right? I want to say this, man. Gangsters, right? This is for all the so-called gangsters out there. Real gangsters live by a code. But you can tell nowadays that code been dead because nowadays most of these so-called gangsters, these street guys are rats. They have no honor. They will tell on their mother to duck a charge. They would tell on their mother to duck a charge. Back in the day, real gangsters lived by a code. There was rules. There was regulations. You know, there was rules. Yeah, you listen. What you're saying, Ed, doesn't apply to us. I'm talking about my people. You feel me? I'm talking about my people. Yeah, I can name other cultures, you know, like cartels do crazy shit. I'm talking about my people. You feel me? I'm talking about my people. Yeah, I knew you was gonna refer to that. I'm referring to the black gangsters. You feel me? I can only speak for mine. I can only speak for mine. You feel me? I'm not talking about the Mexican cartels because they you know they do, like I just said, barbaric stuff. Barbaric people do barbaric stuff. I'm talking about the black gangsters. I'm talking about like the Larry Hoovers, the Jeff Fords, you know, the black gangsters. They didn't move like that. They didn't move like that at all. They didn't. Women and children were off limits. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest, like robbing people in your community, and you know, a lot of stuff goes on now. I'm gonna say that for a whole nother podcast one day. I'm gonna say that for a whole nother podcast another day. You know, but that's where I'm at with it now. Like I'm just not gonna be talking boxing no more because boxing, like I said, boxing been goofy business. Shout out to Gino Jenkins, man. Powerful pastor. Always spreading the good word. Yes, pop a lot of shit, James. You are 100% correct. We had rules. Yeah, we had rules, man. Yeah, we had rules. And you know what? I'm gonna tell you too. The real black gangsters that I'm referring to, they police themselves. Like if you committed, I'm not gonna say no names, but if you committed a crime in the community, you know, you got dealt with. You got dealt with, and some crimes that if you committed in the community, like I'm gonna tell you, man, like if you rape somebody, if you touched a little kid or something, man, listen, man, he was getting dealt with, man. He was getting dealt with, man. If you robbed an old person, you mugged a woman, you, like I just said, robbed an old person, he was getting dealt with. And you know who was dealing with you? The gangsters. The actual gangsters. The guys that was in the community, so-called terrorizing the community. But nah, in all actuality, they was keeping the community structured and safe. Like I said, certain crimes, like I grew up in the projects, man. Certain crimes, right? Certain crimes didn't happen in the projects. Yeah, sure, you had drug dealing, you had assaults, you had killings, you had all this stuff going on, but certain stuff that goes on nowadays didn't go on, man. Didn't go on, man, because like I said, there was rules, there was regulations, there were codes. There were codes, man. There were codes, man. Eddie says, okay, can we keep it 100? How many families did Frank Lucas kill? Frank Lucas was a rat, man. Frank Lucas has no honor. Frank Lucas has no honor, man. Frank Lucas was no stand-up guy, man. He was a rat, man. Frank Lucas was a rat. He has no honor. He when the shit got real, he told, man. He told, man. And Frank Lucas, they don't listen. They don't acknowledge the real ones. They need to do a story on Chaz Williams. Shout out to Chaz Williams. Rest in peace to Chaz Williams, man. The Black Hand. People don't want to hear about God's word, but when we stand in judgment, he ain't trying to hear them excuse in the judgment day on how you live your life. Not at all. Not at all. And that is a major fact right here that Eddie just said. That's a major fact right here. Great comment, Ed. See what Ed just said? And great comment, keep on. That's why I told you I had to take my podcast in a whole nother direction now. I had to take my podcast in a whole nother direction. Ed said, die by the bullet or by the needle or the pipe makes no difference. It doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't. Destruction is destruction, whether through drugs, guns, alcohol, whatever. Alcohol. Shout out to Pop a lot of shit James. He just said, shout out, it's rocking today. That's why the comments are coming through so slow, because a lot of people are giving feedback. This is a real topic today. You see, we're talking about solid source, solid stuff. That's a fact. Yes, it is, man. Yes, it is. Yes, Chaz Williams, man. Shout out to the Black Hand, man. Definitely do your research on him. A real stand-up American gangster, you know. And people, I want to say this too, right? I want to say this too, right? I want to say this, right? Real gangsters, right? I'm gonna tell you this, right? Since we're on the conversation, Bob Arum is a gangster, right? But we won't call him a gangster. You know why? Because he is a Jewish lawyer. He is a CEO of a prestigious boxing promotion company. But at the end of the day, he is a gangster. He is a Jewish gangster that is legit. See, we don't want to talk about that. We don't want to talk about that. A lot of mayors, senators, people that are classified as being prestigious people were all gangsters at some point in their life. They were all dirty, bad men, but then they cleaned themselves up. See, we don't want to talk about that. We don't want to talk about that. We don't want to talk about that. He said, my brother is Sammy the Bull can rap, then they all can rap. Ratting is accepted in the game now. Ratting is accepted in the game now. That's just comes with the territory. You know, that's why that book, Game Over, the game is over. The game been over, man. But shout out to E for that comment. Yeah, Sammy the Bull, he's not the only one. It's a whole bunch. Like, ratting is what it is now. That's why it doesn't pay to try to really be in the underworld. But getting back to what I was saying about these guys, you know, you got to do your research on that. All the gangsters, right? The quote-unquote Irish, Italian, the forefathers of the other cultures, you know what they became that were gangsters? They became cops. They became firemen. They became councilmen. They became senators. They became mayors. Shit. Some even became presidents. But hey, what do I know? That's a whole nother conversation and a whole nother source. I don't know if y'all ready for that, man. You know, I'm gradually walking y'all through. Because I told you I'm taking this podcast to a whole new wave, man. It's just not about boxing no more. It's just not about boxing no more. It's about me being what I've been my whole life, a leader. And now I see that my people need leadership. I see my people need guidance. And I see how my influence was over the boxing game. So now it's time to transition that over to the real life game. Now it's time to transition that over to the real life game, you know? And that's what I am doing. See my phone blowing up. That's what I got to do now. Like, it's no longer, like I said, I'm still going to be rocking the whistling. Yeah, that's a fact. Look what Rob said. That's a great point. That's a great point. G Hill, If y'all know anything what he's talking about, I'm gonna break this down to you, man. That is Detroit talk. That is with the yes, that is with the whole Detroit underworld. With Rick Ross, not Rick Ross, sorry about that. White Boy Rick, and all of them, man. And my man. They did the movie on that, man. But G Hill was in Beverly Hills Cop. He was in Beverly Hills Cop. But he was a dirty pig. Gotta say what it is, man. But everybody knows. I spoke on that, man. Everybody knows, man. And the police are the biggest gang, man. You know what it is? They are organized and they are legal. But they are no different from any other street gang. It's just like you heard what I just said. They are organized and legalized, but they are a gang. Don't get it twisted. And they are one of the deadliest gangs. I'm going to say this, and some people are going to be offended by this, but it is what it is. Like I said, this is the source talk. This is my truth. They are, like I just said, they are the biggest, deadliest gang, because not only do they do everything that gangs do, rob, extortion, murder, they get away with it all. Every once in a while, they might get jammed up. But how many unarmed, innocents, people, just not black people, just not Latino people, how many unarmed, innocent people have they gunned down? Have they killed? Yeah, you rocking out with yours truly, the source. See, the source, I told you how to take it to another level with this now, man. It's deeper than boxing. Now, I can't just be on here talking about goofy boxers no more, man. I refuse to do it. It's enough people giving that light. It's enough. It's time for the source to really give it to you how the source is supposed to give it to you, man. I've been had the anointing on my life, my whole life. This is my church tabernacle right here, and that's what I'm giving y'all. Yes, that's what I'm giving y'all. Yo, shout out to my man that's hit me up. He asking me, did what's the name win? I don't know. I gotta hit him back real quick. See how I do. I did so much, man. Yo, man, last night, right? Somebody's hitting me up. They had the fights at Club Amazora last night, man. A crazy scene broke out. If you're looking at if you're a member of my IG, I got it on my IG. They was throwing chairs. They were throwing chairs and all kind of shit, man. And one of my guys was on that card, right? So somebody just texted me and asked me, did he win his fight? And Club Amazora, right? He's see, I be trying to multitask. I'm texting him and trying to respond to him. But yeah, getting back to what I was just saying, right? On my IG, matter of fact, let me pull it up, man, and show y'all this, man. This was like, it was a bad look for New York boxing. It was terrible, man. I'm gonna pull it up real quick so y'all can get a grasp of what I'm talking about. This was terrible, man. But somebody is texting me right now, trying to do the podcast, and I'm gonna pull it up for y'all, man. So y'all see what I'm talking about, man. I'm telling you, the Lord works in mysterious ways. I was going to go cover that, man. I was on my way to covering that event, right? But I didn't end up going. I didn't end up going. But it was like chaos, man. It's a bad look, man. Like, come on, this is a professional prize fights, man. Like, come on, we got to do better. We have got to do better. You know, we got to do better, man. And I'm trying to find out right now if my guy got a chance to fight, man. Cause I'm pretty sure they shut that shit down when that shit jumped off. Y'all about to see. I'm about to show it to y'all right now. When this jumped off, I'm pretty sure they shut the fights down because it was chaotic, man. It was chaotic, yo, to say the least. And if you are familiar with Club Amazora, if you ever attended fights there, it's a decent size, but it's not to the point of the size, right, where something like this could actually go on. You feel what I'm saying? It's like it's not that big. Like with this jumping off, right? With this jumping off, right? I'm gonna say this. They probably had to shut everything down because it was chaotic in there. You could look at it. Let's get it up. It's up, man. See? This is it right here. Look at this. See, they in there throwing chairs, man. This is a professional prize fight, man. Shout out to my boy who was on that. Pure Gold was on that card last night. There was a lot of local fighters from the boroughs on this card. And look at the chaos that ensued. You're rocking out with yours truly, the Source. This is Showtime Sizzle. Source Talk Podcast with yours truly, the Underground King Shad News. You know the vibe, man. But yes, this is Club Amazora. Club Amazora, man. Club Amazora. Let me highlight my nephew, man. The children are the future. My nephew is right back out there on the field. Look at him, so big and tall now, man. Playing soccer. Excellent for his footwork. Braylon. That is my nephew, man. I got to highlight him. Take time out to always highlight the future. This is my nephew right here down there in Texas. Braylon is the young man that you seen when I was going hard. Like I said, the Source been rocking forever. He's the one that interviewed Maurice Hooker. That is my nephew. Shining like the diamond he always is. But yes, he interviewed Maurice Hooker. When Maurice Hooker was a world champion. And he covered that fight for me. You feel me? He covered that fight. Lady Sauce will be on probably tomorrow, maybe today. I'll get her on at some point. But he covered that fight for me. So shout out to young Braylon. Shining like the gem he is, man. But yes, he covered that fight for me, man. When Maurice Hooker fought Jose Ramirez. That was Braylon on the scene. Shout out to Uncle Platt. Uncle Platt also was large and in charge down there. Yes, Reen, I'm working. Yeah, well, mommy's out there. Tell mommy. Okay, tell mommy that she was being mean to you. Mommy's out there. But yes, man, shout out to Braylon, man. Young Braylon, man. But yeah, man, get in tune, man. We got it going on, man. We are on Twitter. We are on YouTube, Facebook, everything right now, man. The brand is blossoming and growing, man. Get in tune with that, man. Let me highlight my guy, last but not least, man. This is my guy, $1 Million Marley. the next $1 million fighter coming out the camp. You know? Yeah, appreciate that, E. He said that's real right there. You know? That's right. Family's everything, man. Because when all is said and done, everything is done, you're always gonna have your family. But yeah, let's highlight $1 Million Marley. I gave him that name because he is another young up and coming $1 million fighter. And I just don't call fighters $1 million fighters, man. I've been around them. Like I said, I am a Jones. Junior Poison Jones, Roy Jones. I am a Jones. So I know what a $1 million fighter looks like. I know the work ethic. You heard that? Like, let me emphasize that again. I know the work ethic of a $1 million fighter. Like I said, man, I have been blessed to be around and be in the gym around $1 million fighters as a cub. Subsequently, I might have left the path, left the what's name, but the circle of life will always bring you back around. And when you tap in with God and you repent for your sins, He will always return you back to promise. I say that to say this. For the past 10 years, I have been moving humbly, but I have been working with $1 million fighters behind the scenes. Now I am somewhat on the scene. Jamali Tucker definitely will be the next $1 million fighter. Shout out to my brother Stone Bone on the check-in, Omaha, Nebraska. Colorado Springs in the building. Solid brother, man. My brother put me on to the juke hook. Man, I love that punch, man. Yeah, we be working on that, man. But you know, shout out to Stone Bone, right? We've been working on the juke hook, man. Stone Bone put me on to that, man. I love that punch, man. That is a Omaha special. The juke hook. Sean Porter will be getting in touch with that November 20th in Vegas. The juke hook. You heard? That is the Bud Crawford Clubber. I call it the Clubber Lane. So when you hear me October 30th yell out to Jihad, Clubber Lane, you see that juke hook touch somebody's membrane and they get to Harlem shaking. You know the vibes, man. But shout out to Stone Bone Boxing. Yes, facts of life, man. Each one teach one. Peace to the righteous, man. That's what it's about, man. We all were savages at one point, but life is about evolving. And like I said earlier, man, evolving, man. You can't stay a savage forever. Shout out to one of the greatest men of all times, Brother Malcolm. Brother Malcolm was a pimp, a hustler, a liar, a cheat, a thief. He turned that all around to be one of the most honorable, educated, righteous brothers, man. So I say that to say this. It's never about how you start, but how you finish. You know? Hopefully y'all caught that sauce, man. But yeah, shout out to Marley Tucker, man. Jamali Tucker is the younger brother of the LeBron Dawn, Jihad Tucker. And here's a little insight on Jamali, man. Jamali Tucker is a slick southpaw. He is $1 Million Marley. He is the goods. We have been all over, in gyms all over. California, Vegas, D.C., Philadelphia, Connecticut, NY. You know me. Yes, we've been getting it in, man. Louisiana. Marley fought in the Nationals, right? I gotta share this with y'all. We was in the Nationals. Marley fought I believe he was the number one guy. He got a deal with Rock Nation. Jamali Tucker is a hidden gem. See, we really wasn't in these national tournaments. Marley broke my man up, man. But like we know, boxing is politics. Politics is boxing. I just explained to you, Marley is the brother of Jihad Tucker. Jihad Tucker turned pro at 17. Catch my sauce now, catch my vibe. Shout out to Uncle Jay for making that happen. Jay Prince Boxing. But Jihad Tucker was a highly touted U.S. amateur fighter. Catch the source, catch the game. You know, I tell you, I'm involved. Jihad Tucker was a highly touted U.S. national fighter. There's a lot of money in the amateurs. Unfortunately, the fighters don't see that. That's neither here nor there. Jihad Tucker is a professional prize fighter now, going into year number 2. When you are a professional, you get paid. When you are an amateur, you don't get paid. Now, anything in life, if you are good at it, you should be paid for your skills, right? He turned pro at 17. He's being paid now. He's on his way. He's continued to perfect his craft. I'm going to rewind that back for what I just said. When you are talented and you have a skill set that you can earn a income from via being a professional, it's acceptable in basketball, it's acceptable in baseball, it's acceptable in tennis. Why is it not looked upon in boxing? If you can fight, now I'm going to reference my family, the Joneses, right? We are the Joneses. My family is known for this, right? 13, 16 years old, beating up grown men. Grown men, yes. It's no different from Jihad Tucker right now. 17 years old, coming on the scene, beating up grown men. This is what we do. So why not break the curse and the cycle and get paid for it? Shout out to Bernard Hopkins. I got to quote the great B Hop. I fought free many times in the streets of Philadelphia. I'm no longer fighting for free no more. No longer fighting for free no more. Hopefully y'all caught that sauce and it didn't go over your head. You know the vibes. Yes. My man E, he said, I think you need to do a different podcast because you're hitting some high notes on the man, of these life issues. Yeah, that's where it's at with it, E. That's what I'm doing. We're moving it along, man. It's coming. Rome wasn't built in a day, but I appreciate that, my brother. I appreciate that. But getting back to Jihad turning pro, I think when Jihad turned pro, you know, it is what it is, man. People hold grudges. They're upset, man, because they probably wanted him to be an Olympian. He could have been an Olympian. But at the end of the day, man, if LeBron James can go pro and rock out the NBA, why can't professional prize fighters go pro? Canelo Alvarez turned pro at 16. Canelo Alvarez is on top of the game. November 9th or 4th, whatever date it is, forgive me, I might be off with the dates. He's making $40 million, a handsome ransom. He turned pro at 16. $40 million. $40 million, you know? So I can't be mad at him, man, for going after it, man. Shout out to Canelo. Viva la Mexico! Cabrones! Yes, man. Canelo was on top of the game, man. $40 million, though, man. Can't be mad at him. He turned pro at 16, man. Now he has acquired generational wealth. Canelo's grandkids are good. You understand what I'm saying? Because he made the sacrifice. His grandkids, man. Generational wealth. Yo, I'm gonna Canelo got a joint up, right? Canelo has a joint. I watched it the other day. Like when I have downtime, I love to watch on YouTube and just watch videos. Yo, my man got a call, right? On some robotic joint, man. Off a voice command. And it speaks Spanish, yo. How ill is that, yo? Yo, he got his joint in Spanish. Man, life is good, man. Blessed, man. Salute to him for that, man. But yes, E, man, I appreciate that, man. I definitely am going to be tapping into more. Like I said, that's what I'm taking it to, man. You see, I'm doing more life current event issues, man. I did the issue yesterday on the brother that got jacked up. That was a paraplegic, and the police they were extra aggressive on him. He said only difference is LeBron got the cash. Straight, yeah, he did, man. Straight out of high school, man. And Gold Mellow will get you that signing bonus and exposure straight out the gate. It does. But at the end of the day, right, you are absolutely right, man. But when you are a professional, there really is no age limit on it. And I'm going to say that to say this, right? You see young kids, right, that are chess masters, 12, 13 years old, 15, 16. They are masters, chess masters. There's no age limit on greatness. Shout out to the late, great Kobe Bryant. He showed that. Shout out to Kevin Garnett. You see, oftentimes it is done in other sports. But see, boxing is controlled, man. That's a whole nother conversation, a whole nother podcast. But boxing is controlled. They always tell you in boxing, I might get in trouble for saying this, but in boxing, right, they always say you have to wait your turn. They used to tell me that all the time, especially with this media shit, because how when I just stormed on them, and they said I jumped the line, I cut the line. What line? What line? Wait your turn. You got to wait your turn. Greatness has no turn. When you are great at something, when you are anointed and blessed with something, there is no turn. And that's what I instill in my daughters with Coach Reen, and I see that in her. Coach Reen is going to be a teacher. You see, she said she's going to be a doctor. A doctor's a teacher too, that performs medicine, performs medical procedures. But I see the anointing on her. That's why I push that. See, many times we don't tap in to our children's, to even our own anointings, our own blessings, because we are so caught up. Hopefully I caught that source that I just broke down. Like I said, there is no turn in greatness. Shout out to Iron Mike Tyson, youngest heavyweight champion in history. Now, had Mike Tyson took heed to that, wait your turn, he would have never made history becoming the youngest heavyweight champion. He would have never made history becoming the youngest heavyweight champion had they said, wait your turn. You see a lot of fighters. That's why I said boxing does that. Boxing, right? More so now in this day and age. Fighters could be ready. Fighters could be ready to make that run, make that push. But they always say, wait your turn. Your time will come. He said that's where MMA beats boxing, because in MMA, you can have 10 fights and fight for a title. Boxing is a slow process built. It is. I'm going to share that comment up there. Let that soak in, man. E is dropping the sauce. I just read it to you what he said. He's dropping the sauce. That's boxing for you in a show. I was talking to somebody today, right? Behind the scenes about my man. Shout out to Big Baby, Mr. Anderson. That's what I was calling him when we was in Vegas on my Matrix shit. Jared Anderson. Man, he's 9 fights. Right? He has 9 fights, right? 9 KOs. I told somebody off the record behind the scenes, I said, I'm not a gambling man, right? But I said, if he was to fight the winner of Tyson Fury, Wilder, I would bet my money on him. It was like, yo, he's unproven. He has 9 fights. I said, yeah, man. See, that is the stigma, the narrative that always gets pushed in boxing. And that doesn't get pushed in no other sports. You heard what I just said? Look how I'm tying the source and catch the vibe, man. In tennis, I'm going to use tennis right now. In tennis, you could be 16 years old and win the U.S. Open if you are nice enough. They're not going to say, oh, you're too young. Wait your turn. No, you're going to win it. In the NBA, I remember LeBron James's first game. Can anybody that's on here, does anybody remember his first game? I'm going to tell you who it was against. The Sacramento Kings. Does anybody remember his stat line? He damn near had a triple-double, 7, 7, 17. Did he have to wait his turn? He jumped right out there on the court, straight out of high school, out the gate, with the best players in the world, and held court. Held court. There is no timetable on greatness. Are y'all catching this, man? If you are great, listen. If you are great at something, there's no timetable, because that is what the Creator, the Alpha Omega, has bestowed upon you. Has bestowed upon you. There is no timetable with greatness. When I was younger, I had many gifts in life. I was nice at ball. Shout out to my man Suge. Suge got on here and he set the record straight. He said, yeah, my man is a playground legend. Basketball took me all over the world. But I was so caught up in wanting to be in the project, have nice cars, and do all that. I let that anointing, I let that blessing that the Lord bestowed upon me get away from me. But I'm still nice at boy. You see, when I post some of my videos, crossing my daughters up at the park or pulling up to the park, hitting jumpers, just doing what I do. You never lose it. It's just the window closes, the opportunity closes, because there is no timetable on greatness. Shout out to E, man. E said, damn, you on some shit today. Your podcast. That's great. I appreciate that, my guy. Appreciate that. But yeah, man, there's no timetable on greatness. Now I'm going to bring it back to boxing. Mike Tyson was the youngest heavyweight champion in history. You know why? Because he had a hard knock life. But God blessed him with a talent to fight, to be a small man. He's a small man in stature, 5'8", 5'9", 5'10". But he was a giant slayer. David and Goliath. There will never be another Mike Tyson. There will never be a man of his size and stature to ever conquer the heavyweight division, man. Look how long has it been. You see all the heavyweights now? Tonight, 6'9", 6'7". Yo, Mike Tyson was beating guys down like that, man. That is like, yo, Mike Tyson, in all actuality, is the height of welterweights. Small guys, man. He said, love Mike, but let's keep it 100. The dive was weak back then. The division, man. Heavyweights were never weak, man. I can't say that, man, because listen, you see what happened when he got older and he let his gift get away from him. He got crushed. Man. Heavyweights are heavyweights, man. Big guys can hit, man. All it takes is one shot, man. With the heavyweights, man. All it takes is that one punch, man. But I know, see, E is a historian. E's from that era of the Holmes, the Alis, the Nortons, the Frasers, the Foremans. You know, when the heavyweights were gladiators. But Mike Tyson will tell you that to this day. Mike Tyson says it. Muhammad Ali would have beat the shit out of him. And it's the truth. Ali would have fucked him up, man. Ali was different. And Ali had many losses. But the man could fight. He would have fucked him up, man. Ali was special. Yeah, Lennox was his toughest fight. Yeah, because Lennox, Lennox had that Stewart training in him, man. Emmanuel Stewart training. Emmanuel Stewart training. That's a fact, man. But you see how I did get back on boxing a little bit. Because boxing is boxing, man. We love to fight. But like I said, there's no timetable on greatness, man. No timetable on greatness. But boxing is the one sport that tries to put greatness in the line. Just wait. It's not your time. It's not your time. Just wait your turn. Wait your turn. It's not your turn. They don't do that in basketball. They don't do that in baseball. They don't even do that in hockey or soccer. They do that in boxing, though. They do that in boxing. He's not ready yet. He's green. Now, he is ready. He is ready. You know? He is ready. But like I said, man, I'm eager to see my man fight tonight, man. Cool dude, man. I love him. I was breaking it down to my man. I said, yo, that kid can fight, man. He got a skill set that I haven't seen on a heavyweight fighter in many, many years. Many, many years, man. They come along, man. When the ones come along, man, you gotta pay attention to them. And the thing that I like, right? This genre of fighters, they are dwindling down, and the new crop is emerging. There's a lot of special ones in there, but the game might take their oils, their sauce from them, because you see the game is repeating itself. A lot of them are not fighting each other. They are not. In order to be great, let me say this, man. In order to be great, you must fight another great opponent. Boxing is a blood sport. You have to preserve the body and get their package right. That is a fact, man. In boxing, your body, your temple is your weapon. Excellent, excellent comment, E. Excellent comment. Excellent comment. See, he is a very knowledgeable dude. He is a passionate brother when it comes to the boxing. And sometimes he gets on people's podcasts and he tears their asses up and they get upset with him. But he loves boxing. He grew up in the gyms. He grew up in a fighting family. So he's always going to be passionate about it. Yeah, look at Jerry Coney, man. It was nice and a slow process, building and building. Then he made the big stage. Yeah, and he made the big bucks. He's the only, I'm glad you just brought that up. Let me share this Jerry Coney story. Jerry Coney's from Huntington, Northport. Jerry Coney fought Larry Holmes. He made just as much money as Larry Holmes. Don King promoted that fight. Everybody loves to say Don King robbed fighters. That fight was in the 80s, $10 million. $10 million. There's fighters right now fighting that's not seeing that type of coin. You hear me? They're not seeing that type of coin. $10 million in the 80s, man. But yes, Jerry Coney, they built him up. He was the great white height. Man, you know who else destroyed him? I'm going to pull that up. I'm glad he just brought that up. That is still on my page right now. I could pull that up. Man, my man, Big George. Big George laid the lumber on him, man. I want y'all to enjoy this, man. Big George. Oh, my God. Yo, listen. This uppercut right here, I had to do with the same uppercut, man. I remember this uppercut, man. I had to do with this uppercut in front of the barbershop on New York Avenue, and I sprawled him out across a car. You know why? Because I remember Big George laying the lumber down like this, man. Big George Foreman, man. Oh, my God. Here it is right here. Watch this. Watch this uppercut, man. Yeah, watch this uppercut. I grew up, man. That's what I tell you. I grew up in the... Oh, man. You seen that? I grew up in a fighting family, man. Watch this uppercut. Y'all did this to a dude at the barbershop. Watch how George is going to run down on him with the uppercut right here. Look. Boom. I'm going to do like Did y'all see that? That uppercut? Damn, he almost killed him. Baka. Man, Big George was, man, probably one of the hardest hitting heavyweight. That was Jerry Cohn. Look at that, man. I caught a dude with an uppercut like that right in front of the barber shop. He sprawled out on a car. He sprawled out. Spinks. Yeah, see? Shout out to E, man. See, E's giving y'all some nuggets right now. He says, you remember when Scotty got mad? Because I yeah, I told you, man. Yo, E's crazy, man. Yeah, I mended that, man. E be on bumpers, man. E be getting on dudes' bumpers. I tell dudes all the time, E's a passionate guy when it comes to this, man. Man, George Foreman was hitting hard. That's how you know how great Ali was. Yo, George Foreman. This was the second round, destroyed Jerry Cooney, right? Yo, he destroyed Joe Frazier. Yo, y'all remember that? Yo, he destroyed Joe Frazier in 2 rounds, man. In 2 rounds, man. 2 fucking rounds, yo. That's how y'all, man. Ali was definitely a GOAT, bro. Ali was definitely a GOAT, man. Yo, man. I'm going to say this, man. Yo, George Foreman put the blinkies on Michael Moorer, man. Y'all remember that? The slowest, yo. I remember watching that fight with my uncles, man. They was mad because they was Michael Moorer fans. They was mad that Michael Moorer got hit with that slow 2-piece and went. But I say, yo, that slow 2-piece was being set up all night. And when it landed crisp, that was the equivalent of a sledgehammer. Of you being like this, right? Look, you being like this. And you be like, yo, hit me. Somebody taking a sledgehammer. Or shout out to Darryl Strawberry. You placing a phone book underneath your chin and letting Darryl Strawberry swing that home run, swing at it. That's what that was, man. George hit him crisp. Whop, whop. That was all she wrote, man. You know how much pressure? I don't care how slow that was. Do you know how much pressure was behind that big, massive, grown, strong man? I say that to say this. If you know anything about boxing, and all the boxing people that's on this that know about boxing, the last thing to go in a fighter is his power. So, regardless of George's age, man, that was a strong old man. Yo, he said, I want to ask your boy because he allowed some dude from the South to talk shit about Mark Breland. Yeah, I remember that too, man. Y'all did that on my show, man, right? I was like, man. But yo, at the end of the day, that was cool, man. Because shout out to Lady Sauce. I might be having Lady Sauce on here. That was ratchetness, man. But ratchetness sells, man. People like that. That was like, at the time, that was one of them probably my best podcasts. Man, people loved that. They wanted me to constantly have you guys on here arguing. But I was like, nah, man, that's not the vibe, man. Unity, man. It's cool to disagree and debate, man. But, unity, man. Unity. But people was loving that podcast, man. I might have to dig that one out and post that on the Source Talk Facebook media page. That was a good one, man. You guys went at it that day. You got underneath his skin, E. E knows how to get underneath people's skin, man. For real. He knows how to push buttons, man. Yeah, you would be, I'm telling you, you would be a hell of a heckler, yo. I'm telling you, you would be a heckler. Remember, it was a guy in the 80s and 90s from the Washington Bullets, when they was the Bullets. He was synonymous for that in the NBA, man. Always heckling the players. Yeah, they made him take out that. Yeah, he is. I told you. Yeah, he is too funny, man. Yeah, he is hilarious. Oh man, he is hilarious, man. Yeah, that was a dope podcast that day, though, man. I remember that one. That was classic, man. That was the early stages of the Source Talk, man. Yeah, now you did. Yeah, now that's a fact. That's a fact, man. Facts over fiction. That's a fact. I got a comment. Hold on. Let me comment. Let me give you your praise, man. That's a fact, man. Facts over fiction. That is a fact, eh? That is definitely a fact. Look, that's a fact, eh? I gotta salute you, man. Facts over fiction. You were right, man. You're definitely right about that, man. You're definitely right about that, man. That was a dope podcast. But they wanted me to they wanted me to keep doing that. I was like, nah, man. Yeah, it is crazy, man. Oh man, yeah, that was good, yo. That was dope that day, yo. I remember that, yo. And you had me crying. He had me crying. Oh man, you're starting some stuff up, man. Oh man, that was a classic podcast. It is too much, man. Listen, man. I'm telling you, real talk, man. If you guys was to do a show together, a podcast together, I guarantee you guys will go viral and do some views, man. Because I'm gonna tell you, when I played that back that night, you guys had good energy, yo. Believe it or not, man. You guys actually had good energy, man. Sometimes that's what it remember I was just speaking on that. It always has to be a balance, man. Both of you guys are great. That's a balance, man. That's a balance, man. It's like I was saying earlier with the fighting, like I'm gonna use Tank Davis for example, right? They always want to place him as a great fighter, right? He's fighting Rolly. Is Rolly a great fighter? Is he a great fighter? In order to be a great fighter, you have to conquer another great fighter. Or you have to. That's for like anything in life, right? I'm gonna reference my man, Michael Jordan, right? Michael Jordan could not beat the Pistons, right? When he finally did, he became great. Mike was always ill. I wanna be like Mike. Mike was always ill, right? But he could never beat the Detroit Pistons. But it didn't stop his greatness. He finally overthrew them. And then he was great. The rest is history. The rest is history. It is crazy. He said, let me see. He said, nah, I would have to get a ski mask because I'd be saying some. Nah, you goody, man. You goody. He said, Rolly ain't shit. Word. Thank you. I'm glad. I'm going to leave that up there. I got to leave that up there, man. I definitely got to leave that up there, man. I'm glad that you said that. It's not pay-per-view. You are robbing the fans. That is a fact, man. But they're going to sell it. They're going to hype it. And it's sad that I got to say this. Like I said, I'll probably get backlash for this. These watered-down Fuzzy Dunlap media members are going to stand behind it, and nobody is going to say that it's not. They are all going to, shout out to Kwame Brown, play Get Along Gang, and go with the narrative, but it's not. It's definitely not when you have guys like Devin Haney, you have Teofimo Lopez, Ryan Garcia. You have other bigger name superstars swimming around the same waters. Swimming around the same waters. You know what? I'm glad E said that, and I'm glad we're discussing that. You know, right now, the ocean, this whole ocean, right? This whole ocean. Catch this source that I'm giving to you right now. Boxing is a ocean, right? It's a lot of sharks in the water, quote unquote, so-called sharks, right? But how boxing is set up nowadays, the ocean has turned into SeaWorld. You're saying, damn, so what you mean by SeaWorld? See, SeaWorld has a lot of, matter of fact, I'm going to use this, man. I just went there. It is the Georgia Aquarium. Boxing has turned into the Georgia Aquarium. You're saying, damn, so what you mean? Have you ever been to the Georgia Aquarium, one of the biggest aquariums in the world? They have a lot of predators. There's sharks, but they are placed in tanks, separated from one another. That's what boxing is now. The ocean is wide open. It's a lot of sharks, quote unquote, so-called sharks, swimming in the waters. But the waters are now turned into the Georgia Aquarium. You might have a shark over here, but here comes that aquarium wall. Boom. Terrence Bud Crawford. He can't get through that wall. Here's the other shark. Boom. Earl Spence. Oh, man, you can't get through that wall. You guys are two sharks. How come the two sharks can't get through that wall? But shout out to Sean Porter. He swam. He found a way through. Now him and Bud Crawford are in the same waters. And they will collide November 20th. Hopefully y'all caught that source. Listen, we are going to wrap this up, man. Once again, thank you to everybody that participated. My brother Keemon Wade, Fort Worth, Texas. I tried to get you on. You got to work on your audio over there. Shout out to my man E all the time. Fight connoisseur, expert, man. Fight enthusiast. Brothers, don't get upset at E, man. You see, E got on my bumper a little bit with the cartels and the barbaric things. It's always love, man. That's just E, man. You got to learn to know your peoples and know their passions, their pains, and what they love. I appreciate you, E, always. Shout out to Pop a Lot of Shit James, man. Definitely check out his stuff that he's doing. Rising young boxing media enthusiast. Also covers many other topics. Who else am I missing? Let me scroll up, man. I don't want to miss out nobody. Shout out to Stone Bone Boxing. If you are in the Colorado Springs area, tap in with my brother for that good ganja. That Bob Marley. Yes. Great leaf, man. Shout out to the whole Omaha, Nebraska. Definitely Omaha in the building, man. And be on the lookout for that juke hook. And we're always going to close out and say, always keep God first. It's never where you start at, but how you finish. Always remember, never put a limitation on what you can do and can't accomplish. They told me I wasn't real media. Not only am I a real media, now I am a boxing agent. I am a boxing consultant. I am a boxing creator. I am a boxing enthusiast who never let anybody place me in a tank because I swim freely throughout the ocean. Hopefully y'all caught that vibes, man. Everybody enjoy these fights today. Great night of boxing. You know the vibes.
It only takes for you to win once. You could lose 10 years in a row and you hit that right jug. Bam! That shit changed the goddamn game. And guess what? They gonna bow down. So I don't care how rough it's been on you. All you gotta do is hit once. Pull off that one thing in the back of your mind. You pull that off, and guess what? They gon', oh, he a born winner. He did.